Hi, I'm Tim Scales, the Director of the Center for Entrepreneurship and the Center for Economic Education here at Indiana University East.
It's my pleasure to introduce you to another episode of In Your Business.
We talk to local entrepreneurs, we learn about their business, we learn about why they started their business, how they started their business, some of the opportunities their businesses has provided them and their community, as well as some of the hurdles they've gone through, some of the challenges. Welcome to another episode of In Your Business. Today we're going to learn from an interesting entrepreneur, Kim Hoppe. Kim has a store downtown Richmond called Embellish. And at Embellish, it's a fairly new store, but it's a fun store. When you go in there, you're going to find out that Kim truly thinks globally, but she acts locally. We've heard that phrase a lot, but that's what she's really doing. And she's trying to serve a very, very good market. And I think a person should go in and see what she's doing. But today we're going to get to know Kim a bit. We're going to learn about her as an entrepreneur, and then we're going to learn about the store and how you're doing entrepreneurship within the store. So Kim, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for being here and sharing with us. What I want to do is I want to learn a lot about you today. We're going to learn a lot about Embellish and what you're doing and why you're doing it. But to start with, the store opened when?
January 29th.
In 2015?
Yes.
Okay. And it's a downtown location, which a lot of communities that I visit, the downtowns are really starting to come back active and alive. For a while, it seems like the economy kind of roughed things up a bit, and a lot of people moved out into the mall areas. But once again, the downtown Richmond area is just becoming so active and exciting. I love coming down there and seeing what you're doing and what others are doing down there. It's almost like a community or family within the downtown area, and you're a big part of that.
Absolutely.
So we're going to come back and get to know about the store and get to know about what you're doing. But let's start with getting to know you, Kim. You're an entrepreneur.
Yes, I am.
And is that something that you had thought of? When you were a child growing up, what did you think you were going to do?
I wanted to be a hairdresser.
Okay.
I wanted to follow in my aunt's footsteps.
Very good. So what happened as you got into high school and stuff? Did you continue to follow that ambition?
Not whatsoever. I actually started through an ICE program in high school, and I was employed by one of the local banks. So I was working full-time by midterm of my senior year in the bank. And before that, I actually was a soda jerk in one of the local pharmacies / drugstores. And so I guess it was just really people that I was after, sales.
Okay. So what you found out is once you got out there and started working, you said you were working in a soda fountain?
Mm-hmm.
And so serving that, and then from there you went into banking. So it was serving people, it was interaction with people. But you would have been able to do that even as a hair designer, right? Hairdresser?
Yeah, I would have, but I just never pursued it.
Okay.
Things just weren't in the cards, so I just kind of went with the flow of what was given to me, I guess, for a while.
So as you started selecting your classes then for your education, did you continue to go towards business and entrepreneurship, or what did you do?
Actually, I was business and home ec.
Okay. With hopes and goals of doing what?
I don't know that in high school I was that I mean, I had good grades, but I don't know that I was driven towards any one occupation. I just knew that I was really good with business, and I'm quite the seamstress and cook, so I don't know where I thought I was going at the time, I guess.
Okay, well, and that's all right. And it's really interesting that you became an entrepreneur, because in entrepreneurship we have a tendency to change quickly. And I'm sure you do that. And when I say change quickly, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a good way, because you have to keep your inventory fresh. You have to keep your store looking fresh. You have to do things, quickly. And just like if it's a bad day out, if it's raining out or something, you've got to respond to that type of weather. If it's a great sunny day, you respond to that. You may put some of your goods out. That's what entrepreneurs are good at, is being able to change very quick. And I know you can do that. I've watched. And so now we know a little bit about you. We've heard about, your background. But now let's talk about the business. Is this your first business?
This is my first business that I've ever owned.
Okay.
I've had a background in management, managed a jewelry store for 9 years.
Okay.
Had mall hours, which was interesting, and had about 13 employees at one time. And then I went into basically a whole nother field. Was a travel agent. So again, I guess you could say I sell things that people don't need.
You sell things that people don't need.
They're luxury items.
Okay.
I've sold cosmetics. I was a bartender, did the travel industry. So it's always things that you have to kind of entice people to buy because it's not a requirement of life. It's not like your bread and butter or something like that.
Okay.
So it's something that actually maybe enhances your life or makes you happy, or if you've had a bad day, you get some retail therapy.
Yeah. Kim, I like what you're saying, because normally when I bring in an entrepreneur on the show, or especially when I teach in the class, we try to fill a need. And usually we're trying to find a way that we can, really make a need happen for someone. Yours is a want.
Correct.
And so it's truly a luxury type item. That's great. So as our economy has shifted around at different times, there's been challenges to that. But I believe we're still in a better time. I hear that a lot. And hopefully it comes true, and you're seeing some of that. So I'm hoping there's improvements for you.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, interesting. You've been involved in many different businesses, which gives you a great foundation for the business you're in now. So let's talk about your store today.
Okay.
Let's talk about, tell us about the store. What are you doing?
Basically, the store, I guess I would classify it as a place to get a great gift. If you want to buy the girlfriend gift and you want to spend $5, I can fill the need. If you want to spend $20, I can fill the need. But it's a quick pop-in store that you can pull up in front, you can come in, you can get the gift. I customize, I do a little gift wrapping and make the bags pretty. And I just got a new greeting card line, which I think is phenomenal. Every card on the rack's $3.
Okay.
So I kind of picked up a need from the loss of Hallmark stores in Richmond. And it's just fun. If you need a little pick-me-up, and you can just come in and grab yourself something, and a great pair of earrings for $10. So price points are awesome, and I think people just come in and they look around and they're just kind of really shocked that it's in Richmond, and they can find something for themselves that makes them very happy. And I get a rush from selling something that somebody just goes, "Wow, you just made my day."
That's great. So your product line, your inventory is a variety of things. Some clothing maybe, some just variety of items. Okay.
I carry clothing and scarves, purses, jewelry. I carry a lot of wine and tabletop items, wine stoppers. A lot of them have quirky sayings. Again, they're fun, so
Yeah.
it makes everybody laugh. And then I also make my own sugar scrubs and the microwave rice bags, and I do bath bombs. And then I have the grandma gifts for the newborn babies. So there's a wide variety. Oh, and don't forget the dogs. We have gourmet dog treats.
Okay. So it sounds like your inventory. Are you making some of the inventory yourself?
Just a few. I do the bath bombs and the sugar scrubs and the rice bags, and I do occasionally a one-of-a-kind piece of clothing item that I'll just have some time to do and throw it out there in the inventory. So.
Okay. That sounds great. I mean, it really does. And it sounds like people should come in, at least see the offerings that you have. Your store's location.
14 South 9th. I'm across the alley from Bullardicks, or I look directly at Midtown Pharmacy.
Okay. So it's a great location as you're coming into downtown Richmond. I mean, that's a main highway, right? That's right on 27.
Yep.
And were you able to take advantage of some of the offerings with downtown?
Absolutely. The City Center Development offered a residency grant. And since I live in my building, I actually bought the building, and I do have a lease side that's available right now, an office space. And then I live upstairs, so I'm a true shopkeeper, and they give grant money available. And so I have an amazing rooftop deck.
Okay. So I have actually seen that as I drove by. And it's neat to see what's going on in downtown. There's several of you, okay? There's other shop owners that are doing the same thing, buying those buildings, living in those buildings, and having a retail operation. And what is that like?
It's pretty awesome because even though I had lived in Richmond for several years, I did not actually know these people. And I showed up at the first meeting, Downtown Business Group, and I have become part of their family. And it's really amazing, first thing in the morning or at night, that everybody's out walking their dogs, and we're downtown walking. And it's really, you wouldn't perceive it as a safe place, but it's very well lit at night. And in fact, I don't even have any lights on my rooftop deck. I don't need lights on my rooftop deck because there's so much light.
Okay.
And you just get to know one another, and everybody watches out for one another, and it's just a very small community, actually.
Well, it's kind of fun for me because I watched different areas really develop. And I feel like the Depot District was one of those areas that kind of really became active in the last 10, 15 years. And it's a really tight community. They help each other. They do a lot of good business. I feel like Main Street and downtown Richmond is doing the exact same thing now, that it's just really getting to be the place to be. And that doesn't happen just because of name. It happens because of people like yourself.
Right.
And so you're making a huge impact and a huge difference on Main Street and downtown. So you should definitely be proud of that. It's more than just your store. It's the social being. It's you being there and making things happen. So I think it's great that you're taking care of customers and you're taking care of a community. I want to step back a bit and go into the store again,
Okay.
because at the university I teach entrepreneurship. We teach business in the School of Business, and when a student comes in and says, I want to study business, it's a little scary because I know if they want to study nursing, what they want to do. If they say they want to study education, I know they want to be a teacher. And if they're criminal justice, chances are they want to be a police officer or something in law enforcement. But business, we have a huge variety of things. We have management, we have marketing, we have accounting, we have finance. We have all those different professions a person could go into, or entrepreneurship. And the neat thing about entrepreneurship is you do them all. So talk about some of the challenges. From the day you decided, I'm going to have my own business, to the day you open that door, think about that process.
I think probably the easiest thing that I have is to actually do the inventory and the visual of the store itself. I used a lot of unique items that I guess you could say I'm a Pinterest addict, and I would go on and I would see something and turn it into something else. So my displays and the actual buying of the merchandise, that's a breeze. Have no problem setting up a store with front window or changing things up. The book part of accounting, that was really not a problem.
Okay.
I have a background in accounting, so I don't really have a big issue with that. But probably my biggest challenge has been social media. And I say that in the way that it changed so rapidly that, yeah, I do Facebook, but do I do Twitter? No.
Okay.
Do I have a Instagram account? Not yet. So there's ways of doing other social media that I need to get into and figure out how to do it. I had just been realized about a month ago that I didn't claim my spot on Google. And so if you typed in the search engine Embellish in Richmond, my little dot wasn't coming up on the map.
Okay.
So just being aware of those things, but thankfully there are so many resources, and this isn't just for downtown businesses, this is for any business in Richmond. There are so many meetings and networking and people reaching out to you saying, hey, let me help you. The Indiana Small Business Development Center has worked with me, and he's given me homework every week and trying to educate me in how to do this. And so just using those free resources has been amazing.
Sure. Well, that's what they're there for. I mean, the state provides those for us, and we should take advantage of them because they're great. And you're right. The social media is a very interesting one because a lot of that has just come about in the last 10, 15 years. It's not what we were used to, but we have to adapt to.
Yes.
And here at the university, I know I'll be speaking with a student, and they'll share something with me. They'll teach me how to use it, and a year later, I will brag about that I'm good at it, and they'll be like, Tim, they don't do that anymore. So it's kind of hard just to keep up with the social media. And I know that you're willing to share with students, which I think is great, because there's no better way for me to teach than to actually have them hands-on. So I would love to have them come down to the store and see how you do a window or how you address a display. And you have some really nice displays. I love the refrigerator. So I think, you know, getting them in there and seeing what you're doing, the clawfoot bathtub, maybe they haven't even seen one, you know.
That's very true.
And so it'd be interesting to see some of the students' reactions on how you're doing that and how they could do that as well. But then at the same time, maybe we can have them help with some of the social media. So
Absolutely.
tell me though, I know some of the challenges that go on, but what's some of the rewards that you're receiving? What is the thrill of being an entrepreneur?
Well, one of the most recent things that I just did, and this is again from one of the people suggesting ideas, is I actually have stickers on my bags, or I have a card stuffer, and it says on there, if you take a selfie of yourself with the merchandise that you purchased and you write a review on my Facebook page or on my website, then I'll send you a 10% off discount. So when I see somebody actually putting the picture up there and it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, that's my merchandise, this is me. So it just is very rewarding for me to know that somebody's very happy with their purchase, or somebody bought them a gift and they took a picture of it and that they're happy with their purchase too. So I just really love to sell somebody something and see them respond and know that they're happy with their merchandise.
I can tell. I mean, you're very passionate about it, and that's what's important, is you really have to believe in what you're doing, and you do. Now, as an entrepreneur, we put in some serious hours, okay? It's not just the hours the store's open. What are your hours?
I'm open on Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 5:30, and then during the summer I'm open from 10 to 2 on Saturdays, but I'll be expanding my hours into the evening during the wintertime for fourth quarter, so for Christmas.
Okay. That's the hours of the store open. Now, how many hours a week do you suppose you work? And think about that a bit, because I know there's going to be times before the store opens, after the store closes, you're probably online, you're looking for stuff, you're in meetings, you're talking to people. As an entrepreneur, you're always thinking, but how many hours do you suppose
I
you
would guess
work?
probably about 55 hours a week.
Yeah.
And I am very guilty of, because I live above the business and I'm out walking all the time, if I'm closed on Mondays, and if I see somebody pulling on the door and I'm about within distance of eye shot of them, I will go get the keys and open the store.
Really?
So I do a lot of Monday sales when I'm not supposed to be in there. And I also offer a program that if you have a business or a group of maybe a bridal shower or a group of girlfriends that can't shop, or if you're in a dentist office, if you want to call me and set up an evening appointment, and I'll go ahead and open up for an hour or two and do some shopping for them. Probably bring out a bottle of wine and let them come in and by appointments in the evening too. So if they're not available during my business hours, I'll come in and open for them.
Wow, that's great. So where did this idea really come from, Kim?
It was actually a dream of mine. I never thought it would be feasible, but I used my creativity to not have to buy fixtures and go in and set up a whole design of a store and put in showcases or slat wall or anything like that. So basically everything in my store I either bought at auction, Habitat for Humanity, so again I'm supporting the local community, and I upcycled everything, and then I also did all the work in the store myself as far as construction and lighting, and I laid the hardwood floors. So a lot of, and it was girl power with the help of two girlfriends, so the three of us together in about 3 weeks basically renovated the whole inside of the store and painted and got ready to open.
It looks great, but I mean that is great that you're able to do all those things. I mean, the fact that you're taking care of your own books, that you're doing your inventories, that now you've told me that you did your own electrical. Well, I mean, it's more than I usually expect from an entrepreneur.
Well, and I think that's what makes it feasible for me to do this. Was, yeah, I couldn't have probably come in and spent $30,000 to renovate the inside of my store and buy showcases or buy a POS system and that type of thing. I utilized the things that were in my budget. So I use the Square app, which also reaches out to customers, and I have a database where I can send a loyalty program just by signing up my customers as they come in and shop.
Sure. And how do you see that shifting? Because you've been there not a long time, but probably enough time that you can kind of start seeing some trends. That first week, were you busy?
Grand opening day, I was slammed. I had an awesome day. Fortunately, I had a lot of people that I knew that come to the grand opening. Bad weather hit, and I saw some very slow time, but I didn't have all my inventory in yet. It was still shipping, so it gave me actually a little catch-up time to get more inventory in, and I actually spent my time in my room. I have my sewing machine and all my crafts in my office.
Okay.
So when I have downtime, I can do all the other things. I also, thanks to one of the local merchants downtown, Dance With Me Bridal, we ramped up into prom season, and I did all the alterations of the dresses, so she referred her clients over to me.
Okay.
So when I had that downtime, I was actually still staying busy.
See, I find that true with entrepreneurs a lot of times. They have a little bit of a side thing going, so that they're always busy, even if it's not just, storefront traffic. So, what about a web page? What are you doing anything online?
I have a web page, and I'm in the process of getting e-commerce set up
Okay.
so that you'll actually be able to shop online.
So right now you can look online, but you can't maybe order.
Correct.
So soon you'll be able to order as well. Because that was going to lead me to my next question as far as comparing the two. We're still early. I have kind of tracked for the last 10 years the retail impact of online, and understand that it went from basically people were just coming online to get information, and then they started actually having the e-commerce so people could order. And those numbers have gone up very, very, very rapidly. And I would say over the next 10 to 15 years, the online could be a very important part of your business.
But I also see that going gangbusters actually, but I also see people are actually, the generation is turning back into being not a mall shopper. They actually want to get out and walk. The trend is for people to be healthier and exercise. So you're getting people that are coming and they're starting at Elder Beerman on 5th and they're walking 10th, and then they're coming down the side streets to shop. And they're pushing baby strollers, and they may be walking their dog with them, which is perfectly fine. If you want to bring your dog in my store, I have no problem with that. I have I have a chief relationship officer called Daisy that greets my customers. So. And I see people getting out. So just to be able to go and take your family and walk down the street, it's a great way for people to get out and shop also.
Sure. And now you said you worked in the mall. You managed a store in the mall for 7 years?
9 years.
9 years. And then you've had different places that you've been. Tell me about the difference of environment. What do you see from a mall to a downtown? And I know it's all under one roof in a mall, but downtown's more open. Do you notice a difference?
I don't think that I have as far as traffic, the foot traffic. I see people go by, but it's not like you can just, in the mall, it was actually the setup of the store was open.
Okay.
So you could actually say, hey, how you doing? And talk to people, whereas I have a door on my store, so you see them go by, but you have to give them a reason to come in the door.
Okay.
The mall also had extended hours, so you had different shoppers that would come in the evenings versus what would come in during the day.
Okay.
So there's a little different trend on that. But
is there a difference in the management though? So like in a mall, do you have to go by mall basically regulation or?
Yeah, absolutely. They required, one Christmas time I can remember coming in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I closed at 11 in the evening. And I found that it was really not productive for us to be open, but we had no choice. So you actually lost money by paying employees to be there, because you have to have, in the type of business I was in, you had to have at least 2 to 3 employees to open and close in the evening for security reasons. So you were basically losing money during those hours, whereas now I can adjust and I can say, when I originally opened, I was open 6 days a week, and I found the trend was I wasn't getting any Monday traffic because most of the other downtown merchants were closed.
Correct.
So I have that capability by being my own boss that I can tweak that a little bit, or if I get somebody that calls me and says, hey, I need a gift, I'm on my way to the bank to work, and I need to come in about 6:45, are you going to be there? Yeah, I'll run down and open the store and get what they need.
Wow, you're so flexible. I love that.
And I do some delivery, if you have somebody that wants something downtown, I'll kind of adjust my schedule so I can deliver the gifts to them or whatever they need.
Wow. Did you really want to be downtown? I mean, is that?
Absolutely.
That's great. You're so passionate
Absolutely.
about it. I love it.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing is remarkable. And I mean, it means a lot to a community. It really does. It gives them a place to be, and it gives them a place to really feel like they're at home. And so I can't say enough about what you're doing. I think it's great, the way you guys are working together. and coming together, having meetings, and helping each other out. And you can tell the impact in downtown. So what I would like to do is I will take advantage of the opportunity to let some students learn from you as a local entrepreneur, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
Is there things that you would change if you could? Of course you can, but what's your future look like?
The only thing I think I would like to change, well, not the only thing, but the main thing I'd like to change downtown is actually to get some regular hours across the board with all the merchants.
Okay.
Some are open 3 days a week, some are open 5 days a week, some are open at 9, some at 10, some close at 5. So it's just, I think if people knew that they could do that walk all the way down and go into all those stores, that would be awesome. So it would know, you know, the shoppers would know all the way across that this is what the downtown hours are.
Okay.
So that's one of my big goals. And I'd just like to see more people come downtown and actually open the stores. We direly need a restaurant. One that's open in the evening that can serve Richmond Civic Theater and the events that go on downtown. So if anybody has a passion to want to open a restaurant, that would be amazing, to actually fill all the storefronts.
And I think it's interesting because people have a tendency to get into habit form and realize that when I worked downtown, it was pretty much service. And that's kind of shifted. And there's more retail. There's more opportunities for people to come there and shop and do things. And so I think people may still see it as that service-oriented, and they need to now come down and visit and realize things have shifted, and there's a reason to be there. And so people need to come down and enjoy their time. I mean, it's no longer you can just pull up and be there for 1 hour and be gone. I think you can now go and spend a day in downtown Richmond. And I want to continue to make that even stronger, and you're making it stronger. So thanks for being a great entrepreneur.
You're welcome.
That concludes another episode of In Your Business. Today we interviewed with Kim Hoppe with Embellish, which is located in downtown Richmond. You know, Richmond, Indiana, like all small towns, medium-sized towns in the downtown areas, they've had to make some changes. They've had to make some adjustments. They've had to work with the economies as they are. But it's people like Kim that's making a difference in downtown, not just in Richmond, but everywhere, because she can be an example of what it takes to be successful in a downtown area. So I hope people from other communities come and visit her. I certainly hope people in this community get out and visit her. Go in and look at what she's doing. She's doing it. You know, she's not hiring out. She's doing it herself. She's doing what it takes to make her store a wonderful place to be. Go down, visit her, get to know her pet, bring your pet, and see what she's doing. Again, thank you for watching In Your Business.